As Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting a net into the lake, for they were fishing. "Come, follow me," Jesus said, "and I will make you fishers of men." At once they left their nets and followed him. Hello, this is Kenny Underwood coming to you from 1 Minute Sermon. Simon and Andrew were called by Christ, and the impressive thing is they dropped what they were doing and they followed him. Reminds me of a little story from the book The Princess and the Goblin, written by George MacDonald. And it's about Irene, an 8-year-old girl who used to go talk to her fairy godmother in the attic when she was troubled and when she was in trouble. One night she went up there to talk to her and she wasn't there. So the next time she saw her, she said, "Look, sometimes I come to talk to you and you're not there when I need you." So the fairy godmother said, "Okay, put this ring on. I'm going to tie a piece of thread to it, and when you need me, put the ring under your pillow and follow the thread and you'll find me." But she warned her. She said, "Sometimes it might lead you to places you don't expect." So sure enough, it wasn't long after that Irene heard the goblins coming. So she put the ring under her pillow and followed the thread. And it did. It led her to places she didn't expect. It led her outside and then into the forest. She started to get a little concerned, and it led her deeper into a cave. And she didn't want to go in the cave, and in fact she said, "This is the goblin cave. I'm not going in there." And she tried to turn back. When she tried to turn back, the thread disappeared. So she turned back around, and there it was, and she went deeper into the cave. She came upon a pile of rocks, and she heard this noise behind the rocks, and so she started digging, and she found her friend Curdy, who had been imprisoned by the goblins behind the rocks. Curdy said, "Let's get out of here," and she said, "No, the thread leads deeper into the cave." And to make a long story short, she followed it, and she did find her fairy godmother, and the fairy godmother was true and was faithful to her. It's a crazy little story, but it's a great analogy about a calling, because we're called by Christ to do things in this world, to do things on the earth. And we're following that thread or following that calling that he's offered to us. Sometimes it might take us to places we don't want to go. Sometimes it takes us to places that we're not interested in, or places we might be afraid of. And when we turn back because we're afraid, just like Irene, we find that the thread or the calling sort of disappears and we're on our own again. So remember that as you go through life. Follow the calling that Christ has placed in your heart. It'll lead you to where he wants you to be. There's your 1 Minute Sermon. God bless.